Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness aye. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, we have to gather wrong, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention. Education, liberation, we have to stand strong. Benskop upon the radio, lively up the program. Everybody call somebody and let them turn and tune and on the radio and catch the boom song. We boom it up already, we have to boom it up again. Expose and reveal him. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the
there and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Sujurong?
Su? Oh, Su. My relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place, yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cop, and what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
Good night. Welcome to Straight Up. We're going to rock and roll just for 1 hour. We're not going over that 1 hour. I promise you guys this because I'm saving all of my energy. Oh, yeah. Whatever it is. Yeah. All of my energy for the last round. The last round of the elections for 2025. If you know what I mean, we're going to rock and roll night and day and night until September. You know which one of those quote unquote minister say instead of saying September, they say September. Anyways, good night and welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Benskop. It's 13 minutes after 9 o'clock as we prepare for elections 2025. What's your take? I know you guys are ready to rock and roll in the comments section, but as usual, be responsible, be respectful. That's all I wish to say. Because bumps are going to be raised, the bad blood, and all manner of things. It's going to happen, but there will be no abusing out, no disrespect, no vulgarity, not on this platform. So I'm telling you guys, I don't want it to be, come across as though I'm going to say I'm warning you guys. No, just how we have been able to carry through on this platform with respect to the guest, whether you agree or disagree with the guest or not. Just be respectful. I know some of you like to just go right off and do whatever you have to do. Please let us be respectful. respectful. Let us be respectful, guys. That is all I wish to say. I'm not going to continue all night and, oh, let us be respectful. Let us be respectful. Let us be respectful. You guys already got the message, right? All right. What is happening in Guyana other than elections? Lots and lots of accidents. I don't know what's happening every single day. Some people are saying that that's how the PPP likes it. Bloodbath, bloodshed, all sort of things. That is how they like things. They cannot survive without the blood. It's got to change. And you can make that change. You can make that change. I repeat, you can make that change. I repeat, you can make that change, guys. You can make, and we're not talking about an exchange, you're like from one corruption to another corruption. No, not at all. Right, Nancy, right, Savage, and all of you guys out there, all of you who are watching right now, I'm going to check around. I have our operator, Lemon and Orange, and Wayne Caesar. Well, he's not in the audience tonight. Wayne is preparing to be on later on. He's going to be on in just about maybe 15 minutes or so. To Messania Ben, how are you doing? We haven't seen Sean Anthony Ben for a while. You know why? Let me say this to you in case you haven't gotten it as yet. Sean Anthony Ben is actually a candidate. Oh, yeah. He's a politician now. Now is the time Sean Anthony Ben has to come and talk about his party's policies. And when I say policies, because the APNU, PNC, and the other small parties that got together with PNC, they're now APNU. Now is the time that Sean Anthony Ben and others should be in the audience selling their party's policies. But no, I hope Sean Anthony Ben is not falling into this syndrome where you're now on the list. You're a candidate, soon to become a member of parliament. Who knows? Maybe a minister too. Can you imagine Sean Anthony Ben as junior minister of housing? Now is the time you have to come in the comment section. You can't be no big boy right now. So tag Sean Anthony Ben and others, those candidates on the APNU list, the PNC APNU list. Now is the time they got to be in the comment section. Now is the time they have to be all over social media. They got to sell their party. Sell. Have you gone to the markets before? I'm sure you've gone to Port Morant Market, right? Or Nyamsterdam, as they would say in Guyana, Nyamsterdam Market, or even which other market? Mackenzie Market, Wisma Market, and so forth. Oh, man, talk about Wisma Market. Back in the days when I was a little boy, Wisma Market, it was like having a flea market somewhere in Brooklyn, Flatbush Avenue, busy, beautiful. Nobody can talk bad about Burnham and what was happening back then because I experienced it. I know what Linden was, the real Linden. A lot of you who pomposetting yourselves, some of the young ones in the audience there and not so young ones, pomposetting yourselves, giving people the impression that y'all know about Linden. Y'all don't know, a lot of you guys don't know the real Linden, Linden was the bread basket of Guyana. Everyone depended on Linden. While the PPP and Chetty Jagan and them, guess what they were doing, Keith Beresford? Guess what they were doing, Joy Phillips and others? They were burning. They were burning the cane field. Economic genocide, sabotage, economic terrorism. That is what it was all about under the PPP regime. Economic terrorism. So while the bauxite industry was keeping the country strong, and when they kept the country strong, it simply meant that people had the opportunity for free education from nursery to university. And all of that started in 1976. And while all of the people benefited from it, and under that system, under the PNC, under Burnham, oh yeah, everybody benefited, right, Neville Sita, also known as Civic, my good friend. Sometimes I disagree with him. He's a little bit vulgar, but he's my brother. He is my brother, and I know that he's going to tone down with a little vulgarity and bust up a hooting, up a hooting. He's my friend. He's my brother. So sometimes see with him because he was persecuted. Now they get some people talking about persecution and that they're being persecuted. They don't know about persecution. Ask folks like Civic. They will tell you the true definition of persecution, political persecution. Now let's get back to free education under the Burnham system. So while the PPP, they're known for terrorism, you know, it is nothing new. It is like they just, that party was formed just for terrorism. I don't know. Just for terrorism. Somebody saying that they were told that I'm calling their name right here on 107.1 FM. Here, what I like to do, I multitask, right? I look here, I look there. I grew up as a peep. You got as a little boy, you know what? You gotta be there, you gotta look there, you gotta look, say, you gotta look up the road, you gotta. And so Sean Anthony Ben is already complaining, bumps raised. I don't want Sean Anthony Ben and others to message me while I'm on air. Go in the message section, go in the comment section, come on the air, sell your party's policies. Come on. Be strong, be brave like Claudine. Come on, Sean Anthony Ben. You can do it. Stop being a pussycat and peeping from behind your curtains. Come out and talk about why you're supporting APNU, why you're a candidate for APNU. And this is why we need to see all of the candidates. They got to be out there. They can't just peep, go back, and peep and go back. No. Sell your party. Anyways, good night. I'm just telling them what to do. It's free. I'm not going to send them an invoice for that at all. What else is happening in your neck of the woods? We're talking about free education, right? And so the bauxite industry carried that country. The bauxite industry carried the health sector. Because without bauxite and all of those workers, including lots of young men from quarantine, sweet skin young men who didn't want to cut cane. And by the way, they couldn't cut cane because the PPP, they were burning down cane field and all sorts of things. They were sabotaging the country. It was called then, and probably still now, economic terrorism. And so they had guys like my dad and others in the village and quarantine. They dress up in their Sunday best, never left the countryside in their barn life, as we would say, and they gone till to Linden to look for work. In case you're not Guyanese and you're now joining, you might ask, what does he mean, look for work? Look, it sounds like they went to look for work, employment, because Linden was the place. Linden was like brighter than New York City. Beautiful. And so because of the bauxite industry and all the millions of dollars made, Burnham didn't take it and fill his pocket in some sort of bank accounts in China, like we're hearing that Jack Deere has bank account in China, if you know what I mean. Ni hao ma. And we're hearing that Irfan Ali has bank account in China. You hearing me? Are you feeling me, guys? Ni hao ma. All right. So what Burnham did with the money, the millions of dollars, revenues, he was able to build NIS that's benefiting everyone right now. That Jack Deere tried to rob, pickpocket NIS, stole NIS monies, hundreds of millions of dollars, almost bankrupt NIS. They bankrupt every single thing. Every single thing. Now, Michelle Boyer is asking a question. It's a good question Michelle Boyer is asking. Now, can the operator just throw me a crystal ball in my hand? Right now, give me that crystal ball. Let me respond to my friend Michelle Boyer. Michelle, how are you doing? Good question. Michelle is saying, Mark, what's the solution? Well, come the 25th of this month, I'll tell you guys who I believe, which party. I'm going for party. I'm going for a group of individuals that I believe. And look, don't ask me who is yet. Don't ask me is who. Joylyn Cutting, don't ask me is who. Sean Anthony Ben, you don't get to dictate the show here at all. Sean Anthony Ben, welcome him in the audience, guys. Hear what Sean is saying. He'll be on Thursday. So in other words, Sean Anthony Ben, he wants to set the schedule for us. We will tell Sean when he's going to be on. He's not going to tell us when he is going to be on, but since he wants to be on Thursday, Sean Anthony Ben will be the guest for this coming Thursday. All right. So William Bill Cato, how are you doing? I didn't know William Bill Cato is a Linden. I thought you were from Myconian and somewhere there. I noticed you know the Harrys and those people, right? Beautiful people, the Harrys. All right. What else is happening in your neck of the woods? Now, Michelle, back to Michelle Boyer. Michelle Boyer say, what's the solution? The solution is to ensure that you vote these vagabonds out of office. Vote the corrupt PPP out of office. That's the solution. And as you vote them out of office, right, Star Major? I see Star Major, a typical DJ, you know. He's spinning on a turntable. Those of you who know turntables, you can tell I'm from the old school, right? Just earlier today, I'm talking to a client of mine, asked me if I got flip phone. What utter disrespect. That's big man like me. If I'm using a flip phone, if that person is watching Good Night. Now, they were almost correct, using a BlackBerry, actually. So back to this whole situation with Michelle Boyer. Michelle, good question. You caught me there. You almost stumped me out. But let me say this. The solution is to vote the corrupt PPP out of office. But don't just run around the place. Star Major, right? I'll get back to Star Major. Y'all know I like to pick on him. I like to pick on Sean, Ben, and all of them. It's me and them tonight. Now, Michelle Boyer asked a good question. What's the solution? Here's what the solution is. Vote those vagabonds, those PPP vagabonds out of office. Vote them out. But don't just fall for this trap. Come a little closer. You know, isn't there a song that goes, who's it, Usher? Come a little closer. Come a little closer. Let me tell you guys this. Let me tell you something. Hear this. Hear me out. Hear this. Don't fall for this trap that in voting the corrupt PPP out of office, that some people are going to tell you, vote anybody else, but not the PPP. I agree with one half of that. Vote the corrupt PPP out of office, but be careful who you vote for after that. So if you have a decision right now, you made your decision, you say, hey, Ron, you're going to vote the PPP out of office. You want the PPP out of office, but don't run and take your vote and dash it here, there, or because you might fall into a trap. And this is what you don't want. Can you turn to your neighbor and say, hey, man, don't fall for that trap. And don't fall for that emotion. And let's get back to Star Major. You know these DJs. Back in the days, they get turntable and they're scratching. Those of you who are from the old school with no Doggy Fresh and these kind of guys, they boombox and these things. All right. So here's what the likes of Star Major, from a political standpoint, they're scratching on the wrong turntable. Doggy Fresh, Doggy Fresh, yaw, yaw. And so, and be careful. Star Major is my brother. You know, Lindener, Matty Lindener. But I think he's spinning on the wrong turntable. And the dub plate sometimes comes over a little bit too rusty. The political dub tape, that is. So change your dub tape, Star Major. Change your dub tape. You're moving when they got turntables. This is a different era. Don't tell people, I'm not just talking about Star Major. Don't tell people vote for anybody except the people. Don't do it, Joylyn Cotton. Can I get an amen from you? Shout out, stand up wherever you are and say amen to what I just said there. Share the link to Joylyn. Don't feel that some of your friends are going to get vexed because you share Ben Shop program. Share the link. I know you're not afraid of nobody. You know, they get a reggae song. We not afraid of them. We not afraid. Well, good. Let the PPP know that. And let those people who are promoting people who are equally as corrupt as the PPP regime, let them know we not afraid of nobody. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. All the DJs are coming out tonight as you prepare for elections in Guyana, general and regional elections. Elections are slated for September 1st. How prepared are you guys? How many of you guys are going home? How many of you guys are vigilant? Michelle Boyer, you back again. Lily Gulliver, how are you guys doing? Are you guys prepared for elections? Don't let some of your relatives back home swear y'all that they are going to swing and take their vote to somebody that doesn't like you guys, but only using you guys. Huh? You get the message? You get the drift? Come on, guys like Star Major and them. Give me a high five, man. I know you want to do that because I know deep down in y'all heart, y'all know y'all are being used, but y'all are so blinded that y'all. Anyways, there's something in the Bible that says, what a friend. I was lost, but now I'm found. All of you who were lost for the past 2-3 months promoting corruption, stop it. I was lost, but now I'm found. Now you guys are found. Star Major, can I get a spin on the turntable for that? As we move on to something else right now. Here's what I want to do. And all the people under quarantine and other places, specifically the sugar industry. I spoke earlier about the sabotage of the sugar industry and economic terrorism practiced by the PPP. They're still practicing terrorism because the PPP is a terroristic party. Every single thing for them is burning down, broke up. If they can't get their way, they're going to broke up, tear up, they're going to cheat, they're going to rig, all manner of things. So you got to be on your guard. All of you got to be on your guard. Now listen to this gentleman. He broke it down quite eloquently in a sense that he talked about the sugar industry and how the PPP used sugar workers. He's not the first that came to this conclusion, but I like the way this brother said it. I just love the way he said it. Now let's go straight to him. He's going to say it in his word, in his term, and we've got to, as you prepare to vote come September 1st, keep this in mind as well. All of those who are in the sugar industry, who have been used by the corrupt PPP regime, billions and billions of dollars went into their friends and cronies and their families' pocket, not ordinary sugar workers. And now when we talk about sugar workers, you might get the impression that it's just Indian Guyanese that are sugar cane cutters, right? Well, we know it as cane cutter quarantine man, right? And so there are lots of different Guyanese. There are lots of African Guyanese brothers, get up and sisters. They get up morning, they jump on the cane cutter truck. When the cane cutter truck was really cane cutter truck, jam-packed with sugar workers going to plant cane or cut cane. That is what they did. It is not just an Indian Guyanese thing. It's an African Guyanese thing as well. But the PPP doesn't want you to know that, mind you. But here's what they did. They robbed the sugar workers of billions and billions of dollars. And not only robbed the sugar workers, guess what they're using the sugar estate trucks to do? To transport people at their rallies. That's all they're using the sugar workers trucks to do. Shame on them. But this gentleman, let's get straight over to him.
To all the sugar workers and all the settlements in Guyana, the British make a law that all sugar workers living in the settlement should not pay water rates and tax. These are the good things the PPP did for you. When they come in power, everybody had to pay rates and tax and water rates. I remember when Canefield had on flood, right? In 1992, when they take over the country, the SILWF, I know what that stands for. Sugar Industry Labor Welfare Fund had $263 million inside for lend people and help sugar workers build them house and give them loan. By the time they go in, Canefield had the best water pipe. Then dig out all the pipe and say about a water go 20 feet more and spend then say $45 million done. When and done, the contract cost $20 million and in thief out $25 million. It's not SILWF, no, Sugar Industry Labor Welfare Fund. Spend Industry Welfare Fund money, then spend out all the money. Out the crap. Canefield had flood. Then wait till they take $1.5 million for clean one trench run from east to west end of Canefield behind Welfare Center. Then wait when rat dead in the sugar workers rice can. And then take 50 cane cutter and give them $1,000 each for weed down a trench. I remember that? Eh? What am I do for you? They must suck out your blood. Them spend out all the money pan sugar welfare fund and thief out all the money. That a good thing they do. And bring rates and tax pan ayo. I na get sense. I head scrape. Come to your senses what the PPP do for you. Them implement all them thing in this and punish people. In 1992, them passed $1.8 billion in education sector. Them create one manifesto and they say, there's man height, spend $1 billion and then give money for print book. Non-book na print and all the money thief out. In 2003, before me come to this come to America, me had to go buy 2 books for my daughter right coming trans, one for 6,000 and one for 3,000. Where the money we got for print the book. Then thief out all the money. Bibi Sharik was the education minister. I not come to your sense where them people instead of for you. I think them are good for you. Then I get one private one house lot and I still got to pay for them. When for get a loan pan sugar welfare fund money, then I get money for get you. I got take loan pan bank, then thief out all the money. I not get sense. Then I get loan for the sugar workers na mo because then thief out all the money. Come to your senses. No say I go eat sugar water and biscuit till I dead or salt water and biscuit.
Well said. That's the PPP, and that's how people feel about the PPP. They robbed the sugar industry. Can you just say a thank you to that gentleman for being as brave as he spoke the truth about the sugar industry and how the PPP has robbed sugar workers. They just want the sugar workers to just jump on top, jump in a cane cutter truck, sharpen and cutlass. You guys know what cutlass is, right? Sharpen and cutlass, go cut cane, go back home, draw them pay, and then stop at Rosal, stop at Mississippi, stop at Chinese, is it Portuguese quarters? Upstairs there, Portuguese quarters. If anybody in the audience know upstairs by Portuguese quarters on payday and so forth, and that is what the PPP like. They like to ensure that they control people. They get them like slaves. They get them like indentured servants. That is what is happening. If you look how they're treating people like slaves, new slaves, they got them, they catch them. They're going around, they're catching them, they're rounding them up. That is what's happening. And when they're not rounding them up, they're programming them to talk foolishness. Can our operator bring in Slime Man?
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection. A quick one for you. And the last time I said that, somebody came up to me and said, man, you little bias. Erection is a man thing. What happened to the women? So I got a woman thing for you. And hear me, from the moment she slime up till you get caught up, we gonna take care of you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I said to some folks earlier, I did say to some folks earlier, I said to them, you know, that pastor, because somebody says that he's a pastor, right? Okay, all right, pastor. That pastor looked at all of those black women in front of him and felt that he had to disrespect them. And so I suggested, I said, if Pastor Lino Craig, that guy who spoke just now, if he was at Babujan, or let's say Enmore, and Auntie Sumintra, and Kamlawati, and Deomati, and Dolari, and so forth, and Babita, if they were in front of him, standing in front of him, I can bet my last rupee that guy would not have done what he did. He would not have been talking like that. So much vulgarity. He would not have done that. But he felt comfortable because he saw all those persons of African descent, those black women in front of him, and he felt comfortable. That's when he moved in for the kill, and he thought he can slimy up the place and talk about election and resurrection and all these sort of things because he felt comfortable. He would dare not have done that in front of Dilrani, Dulrodi, Babita, Kamlawati. He would not have done that. You see me? You dig me? You know what I'm talking about? Isn't it obvious? But we're not going to hear from the ERC, the Ethnic Relations Commission. We're not going to hear from them because they're all birds of a feather. The ERC is only there to go after opposition supporters, mainly PNC supporters. Just imagine, 1 second. 1 second. Imagine if it was a PNC candidate got on stage and uttered those vulgar words. That would not have been the end. The ERC would have suddenly been resurrected. Now hear me out. They would have been resurrect themselves, come to life again, and condemn that horrible statement. But no, they all stayed quiet. Members of the WPO, which is the Working People's Women's Progressive Organization, of the PPP, they would have get their voice. Priya Manikchan would have get your voice. This other body would have get their voice. They would have talked and they wanted to condemn the PNC or maybe other opposition elements. But this what Lino Craig said in front of mainly, at least what we saw there in the video, mainly African Guyanese women, that he felt comfortable talking about erection and resurrection and slime and all these sort of things. He dare not, like I've said earlier, he would not have said that had it been Enmore, had it been Bath Settlement, had it been Port Morant. He would dare not. That so-called pastor, he dare not talk to a predominantly Indian women audience like that. He would have been respectful. He would have talked nice thing. Because after all, he feels that if he talks nice thing in front of that audience, he would be getting 7 curry to eat. Because he seems, judging from that particular vulgar statement, he seems like he likes to eat 7 curry. Mischievous Mark Benchab. Mischievous indeed. Let's prepare to bring Wayne Caesar on with us. Wayne Caesar, good night as we prepare to rock and roll. Look at your background. I could almost swear to God that you're in David Granger's office or you're somewhere at Congress Place with that green. Good night to you, sir.
A pleasant good evening to you, Mark, and to all our listeners and viewers. Look, it's crunch time now. You know, we're getting down to it. It's just, you could just call it a few days now. You can't really even call it weeks anymore.
Just almost a few days now. As you look into what is happening, I know you're a Plaisance man, but you're just not confined to what's happening in Plaisance and Golden Grove, where you had your youth days, used to walk and run away from Plaisance to go. I'm talking a personal story. I should not be talking about that way. But what are you hearing on the ground, my friend, as we prepare for election September 1st? Talk to us.
Yeah, look, Mark, the sentiments from the people on the ground is very positive, you know, and that's a good thing. I must really congratulate the opposition parties, particularly the APNU. I think, you know, they have really stayed on task. You know, they have stayed on message, and that is critical. That is so critical because when we look at policies, okay, of course, you know, any smart individual looking at what the PPPC would have done thus far in an oil economy and look at policy the APU have in place, okay, should more favor what the APNU have in place because they are not the ones who are currently sitting in government and failing. So look, Mark, it's a lot of positivity on the ground. They have had a whole lot of rallies. And when you look at the rallies and you look at the attendance, you can see that the message of APNU is resonating with the electorate in Guyana. And that is a good thing. Even the other parties that doesn't have, you know, the mass amount of people that APNU have, they are going out there in their numbers also and talking to people. So the Guyanese people are really getting the message. I believe that the PPP is in a very, very compromising position. And when I say compromising position, they're not in a good position at this time. And I believe that they're really, really trying hard to pay the Guyanese people for their votes. But if the Guyanese people are smart, here is an opportunity for you to actually rob the PPP, because the PPP have been robbing you all the time. Take their money, go into that booth, and vote the other way. That's the correct thing to do. There's nothing wrong about that. Okay? Just think about what they have been doing to you for 23 years and now 5 years in an oil producing nation with 3 consecutive $1 trillion budgets. And I don't believe, ladies and gentlemen, although GCOM is going to make its attempts, I don't believe that the Guyana Elections Commission can save the PPP this time around. Why they cannot save the PPP this time around? Because the Guyanese people has been sensitized and edified, and they are just not going to stand for that nonsense. They are not going to tolerate that. So Mark, look, overall, when I look at everything when I look at my crystal ball in front of me, I am I feel very positive, and I believe Guyanese should feel very positive also. We know that there are places that the PPP may try to rig this election, but look, we have to stay positive. And Mark, it is hard for me to speak on elections in Guyana. And
if you can stick a pin there, please, as we try to. Thank you so much. Christopher Jones, we're joined by the former Chief Whip, also an active young man. He's on the list as well, and in my opinion, I think he should go back as a member of Parliament again. I just thought I'd give you that quick plug. Mr. Chris Jones, good night to you, sir.
Good night, Mark. Good night, Caesar.
Yeah. Can you give a quick rundown in terms of plans for the coming days in terms of rallies?
Definitely. So they're for us before the rallies. They are the public meetings that are continuing across the country in every single community. Just this evening, there were, I think, 4 meetings held between Georgetown and parts of the East Bank, and of course, East Coast is doing their thing. This Friday coming, we will be in the village of Mocha, Arcadia, on the East Bank of Demerara, and that meeting will feature the presidential candidate as one of his speakers at that grand public meeting in the village of Mocha. And you would know the significance of hosting that meeting there in the village of Mocha on the East Bank of Demerara. On Saturday, the rally then moved to West Coast Berbice in the village of Hopetown. And that is essentially the main rally for Region 5 that is going to be had in Hopetown on Saturday, the 22nd. The same, I should have mentioned, on Friday as well, simultaneously with the village of Mocha, Turning Point, which is in South Georgetown. Turning Point will have a grand public meeting as well, simultaneously with that of the one that is being had in the village of Mocha. And on Saturday, there is the one at Hopetown, West Coast Berbice. And then during next week, the rallies then move to Region 8. And just to ensure that I give you the correct date, let me just open my notes. Region 8, which is Mahdia. And Mahdia is a very significant area for us. So that region will be hosting their rally during the course of next week. And that specific date, so that is, Mahdia will be on the 28th of August. And of course, this is going to be had at Maybell and Redmond Corner. That is on the 28th of August. On the 29th of August, which is the Friday, next week Friday, Region 7, Bartica. The rally is going to be had at the Market Square there in Region 7. And then, of course, on Saturday, the 30th of August, will be the grand final rally, which is going to be had in Georgetown and on the Square of the Revolution. One area that I missed, Mark, and let me just quickly insert this.
Region 6. Tell me it's Region 6 that you missed.
No, we did Region 6. We had the meeting in New Amsterdam. I know what is going to happen. They're going to be hosting a grand meeting in Rose Hall. That date is still to be affixed, and that is going to happen sometime during next week. So that is in Rose Hall.
So,
we did have one in New Amsterdam.
As you know, there are two Rose Halls, right? The Rose Hall, as in the tongue.
Correct. Rose Hall.
Thank you.
Rose Hall. One area that I miss is Kokwani, Region 10. Kokwani, as well, that is going to be had on the 22nd. On the 22nd at the basketball court in Region 10, that is going to be Kokwani. Those are the outlines of the next sets of rallies and grand public meetings that are going to be had in the coming days.
Okay, Bassel Bradshaw is giving a plug there to you guys, saying there's a major meeting at Plaisance Market Square on Sunday.
Right. So, as I mentioned, there are public meetings that are ongoing in all of the areas. So, indeed, Plaisance could be having a public meeting on Sunday. And of course, like Leopold and Cross Street, that is in Working Ross, they're going to have a meeting on Thursday. I don't have the schedule, but every single day, there is no less than approximately 20 meetings that are happening across the country. In some cases in Georgetown, for example, there could be as much as 3 meetings, one being hosted in South Georgetown, North Georgetown, and East Georgetown. And those are on a daily basis. And of course, the outreach exercise, the house-to-house walkabout, those are still happening. Those are being conducted mainly between the youth for the Aubrey Norton and of course the women folk. So they continue their walkabout exercise in various communities, and that is separate and apart from the public meetings that are happening in the various constituencies, and that is separate and apart from the grand rally, the grand public meetings that are happening, and that is separate and apart from the rallies that are happening apart. So as I mentioned, on any given day, there's approximately 20 or more meetings, public meetings that are happening, and simultaneously, they are the walkabouts in strategic communities that is ongoing. Mark, I don't know if the information would have reached you just yet. I know the presidential candidate is currently with the prime ministerial candidate in Lethem, Region 9. So I don't know if he has published any information based on the recent data that is coming out or that's come out. And that data suggests that as it currently stands, the APNU is about a 2 percentage point above the People's Progressive Party in these elections campaign. That analysis essentially says that should election be had tomorrow, Aubrey Norton would be the president of Guyana. Of course, we are still a week and something out from actual election day, and you know every single day it changes. In that same analysis that came out, it indicates that the People's Progressive Party Civic may no longer be in control of Region 1, and may lose significant strength in Region 9. And I would want to close there, leave those pronouncements for the presidential candidate and so forth. But that is the last information coming out. But as I did mention, changes can happen in the next couple of days. And of course, strategically, the focus is on South Georgetown, Region 4 in general, Region 10 in particular, Linden, etc.
Okay, so quick question. Recently, you guys had police permission to set up camp and a rally, I believe, was it in Region 2, right?
3.
Region 3.
Yeah.
What really happened and what was the outcome?
All right. So as per norm, all of the rallies we would send for the police permission. Well, we would have sent those in weeks before. Approval would have been granted. And a few days before the rallies are had, myself, who is part of the logistic team, will go and do a site visit. That site visit is conducted with the police as well as our technical people to see and confirm where what is going to go. We did that site visit. We spoke with the commander of the region. We indicated that we were on the ground and we were prepared to do the site visit. If he was going to send a rank or a senior officer out to meet with us so that we could confirm the location. The commander in charge indicated that no, there's no need for that. Once you guys set up, and we agreed, once we set up in front of where they have a CCTV camera that is set up just in front of the Stelling Gate, but to the right, if you're facing the Stelling Gate, to the right of that is where we're supposed to set up. So agreed upon that. The equipment went up there the night before to start setting up. One inspector by the name of Job turned up on the location, and he then instructed the people with the equipment to go in another direction further in the corner where you have these people have their stalls and stands and shops along that way. When I got on site, I indicated to him that the agreement that we had with the commander is that it's to be set up here and so forth. And I asked him at the time if he could make contact with his superior. That officer allegedly attempted to get in contact with the commander, the traffic officer in charge, and even the commissioner of police, Clifton Hickens, who we learned was at the Freedom Hoop Stelling, and he had instructed the said Inspector Job as to where the equipment is to be set up. So when the commander of the region made contact with Inspector Job, pointing out to him that there is an agreement as to where the system is going to be set up, his instruction to the inspector fell on deaf ears because the inspector got his instructions from the commissioner of police, who was at the location just about 20 minutes before I arrived.
You know, that is so sad. I hope that the observers would see these things that are happening. I hope they're paying careful attention, taking notes, not to just inject themselves and put out their opinions publicly on matters that, in my opinion, should not be much concerns of theirs. But this is definitely an elections interference. This is definitely an election manipulation by the corrupt PPP regime. Now, quickly before you go, sir, I want to ask your opinion. Since Clifton Hicken did what he did, according to information, allegedly did what he did, can you say, how do you take this particular statement coming from Hicken, according to news source? Hicken urges police ranks to be professional and neutral as they undertake election duties.
I would laugh. I would laugh at that, because the information we received on the day when Irfan Ali gathered the police and made a pronouncement about their promotion, it is alleged by officers who were there in company of Clifton Hickens that he had said to them that I hope y'all know y'all have to vote correct. Y'all have to vote correct because you see who's promoting you. Those are the reports that we got from several officers that was in the company of Clifton Hickens on the said day when Irfan Ali announced those promotions to them. So for him to now be saying that is just for public, that's just for public consumption. But we know the reality. It is completely different. He's been instructing and saying to junior ranks and officers of his that they must vote correctly. They must vote for people who promoted them.
And that is so sad. Again, the police force, I think the joint services, they go to vote sometime this week. It's on the 22nd.
Friday.
What's the talk on the ground, Mr. Jones, as it pertains to police officers or so who are being promoted, so to speak, for political purpose and for vote buying? Take a listen to this quickly.
My name is Linden Shaka Tukumbo, Afro Wellington Bavarians. Carpool Police 21111, Station of Traffic Headquarters. I would like to take this time to thank the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana for making this, is taking out this precious time
Yep, Mr. Jones, your take on that?
Listen, I heard several of those, and it is well scripted. If you notice, all of the officers says the exact same thing. I am Officer X 112249, whatever station or whatever. It's a script that has been given, and it's only officers who are willing or prepared to do it did it. It is not the. It is not the. It is not the position of many of the other officers, especially those that we've interacted with, not only privately, but particularly at those public meetings and rallies that we've been hosting across the country. You know, officers go to the meetings to keep peace and order and so forth, and you would have a conversation with them. And Mark, you believe me when I tell you, the officers know what's up. They say, man, listen, y'all don't worry about we. We know what these people doing. We know what these people doing. And when they go and vote on August the 22nd, they know where they have to put their vote. So, and that, not speaking because I'm on your program, Mark, I could also share with you with young people that I've been interacting with. I was in the barbershop last week, Thursday, 3 young men unsolicited having their own conversation. And I mean, I can share here. One was saying to the other two that, listen, 2 weeks after, if Azadine Mohammed becomes president of this country, 2 weeks after I'm leaving the country, because I could not believe that anybody in their right sense could be so wild with voting for somebody like that. Today I was in my community. We were still flagging in preparation for a public meeting that we will soon have in Tugville. And while putting up the thing, a young man on a scooter turned around and quick come back to me. He said, I want to ask you a question. Several questions he asked about why we didn't collate and whatever the case be and so forth. And the young man is like, listen, we know what is going on. You understand me? The only people getting my vote is the APNU. And it is though, and as I said to him, I said, it is when we interact with young people like yourself and we hear you say that, we know deep down, contrary to belief, that young people are wild and they could just go out there and just throw their vote between red or blue. The young people, Mark, I'm happy to report, based on my interaction with people, they are conscious, they know what is happening, and they know what they have to do. As I said, they're just having a little fun and everything, but on E-Day, they know what they have to do. And I juxtapose you, Mark, and your viewers back to when we had the local government elections, when Jagdeo spent $9 billion, flagged the entire country all over. He got take over New Amsterdam, Georgetown, Linden, and all of that, and all the young people is with them, and all a whole bunch of things. And Mark, you saw when those results came out, it was completely opposite, because the people are conscious, the people are paying attention, they know what is happening in Guyana. How could you vote for one party that is accusing the other of corruption when the individual who is a presidential candidate himself showed us text messages exchanged between himself and the president in which he was hoping to get a corrupt transaction done to benefit himself? People know these things. It is no secret. How could you vote for a party or a presidential candidate whose family had indicated to you that he has been supporting the People's Progressive Party for all of the years? 2020, when the elections were had, we saw Irfan Ali parading in vehicles owning to the presidential candidate of WIN. That is how in bed or in depth they are with each other. Right now, what you have is just rich people getting a little spot. And I remind your viewers, Mark, about one person by the name of Brian Tiwari, BK, 2015, through his support behind the APNU in office, Brian Tiwari on top of the world. Out of office, couple morning ago, Brian Tiwari live on television. I am back with the PPP. I never left. That is the reality. So people have to keep these notes at the back of their mind, that when people got a spot with PPP, they fall out for 2 morning, and when elections done, they fall back in. God forbid that you make the mistake and you throw your vote behind WIN or the PPP. And when these elections are had, you see in the parliament, people use whatever seat or seats that they get to negotiate their issues away that they have. Oh, well, you wanted to show my support for vote for this here, so I know I got this GRA issue, make it go away. And that's what's going to happen. Remind your viewers there, Mark, about what is my name, Schumann, that was in there with the Joiner Party, voted every single time consistently with the People's Progressive Party Civic in Parliament. And when he left and he exchanged his seat, and this young lady came in, she did the exact same thing, voted every single time with the PPP. Lastly, but certainly not least, I remind your viewers, Mark Benchka, when the media persons interview Azuddin Mohammed, and they asked a question of him if he's going to collate with the APNU, and he said no, the people are tired of PNC and all of that. And then the same reporter asked him, but will you collate or work with the People's Progressive Party? He said, well, yes, if it's in the interest of the people. That is on record, that is on tape. That is a clear indication to all and sundry who have a vote and who will be voting in these elections, whether during the disciplined forces on Friday the 22nd or on September 1. These are the statements, and you have to judge people by what they say. When somebody says something to you, Mark, it is exactly what they meant to say. And we've heard it from him so many times. We can't run the risk of experimenting with people who say that they come in and bring in change. It could be nothing more than an exchange. And as the old people they say, when you make your bed, you can lie in it.
Well said, Christopher Jones there. Wayne Caesar, you have a final question, please, for Christopher Jones. Your mic, please, sir.
Yeah, I have two things for Chris.
Go ahead.
Chris, is there any place that, the electorate or anyone who wants to find out the meetings, the APNU meetings / rallies, times and location, is there any way that they can locate that? Is it posted somewhere, or is it going to be posted somewhere?
Yes. So there's several means in which they can get information. One, the information is published daily of public meetings that are going to be had the following day. Separate and apart from that, they can reach out to our hotline, which is 225-7852-3, and any information on any region they can request, and that information could be filtered to them. As well, I encourage people, if you know your representative of the APNU in your community, you can reach out to them as well, and they will be able to guide you in terms of when a public meeting is going to be had. But they can go to the APNU page, APNU Guyana, and all of the former members of Parliament's page, and all of those information are posted there simultaneously. So when you see it on one page, you will see the same information on every page across the board.
Okay. And one more thing I would like to say to you, Honorable former Member of Parliament, Mr. Christopher Jones. Over this election cycle, I mean, not just myself, but I'm sure many in the audience would have also seen you have done an outstanding job pulling together these meetings, whether it's leading the setup, whether you are, emceeing the meetings, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that your hands are on, has just been nothing but exceptional. I know the season is not over as yet, but keep up the great work. You have been awesome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christopher Jones here for you guys. Don't be a stranger. I'm sure you'll be back to talk about the bloated list, to talk about what's happening at GCOM, to talk about the PVP still going in. They're in Linden this weekend to hand out contracts and all these sort of things. It's considered buying votes. But
exactly.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. Even at this last minute, you were able to just do what is right. If persons want to donate, because some people have been, I saw a few comments back a couple of days ago, people asking how can they donate to the party's campaign fund so that they can get T-shirts and whatever else, and the money goes into the right people's hands, mind you.
Right. All right. Correct. So again, at the headquarters, the campaign manager is there. That is former Ambassador Hales. He's there on a daily basis. Again, they can reach him on 225-7852. It is the main hotline. So once you call that number, whatever direction you want thereafter, you call that number, okay, I want to make a donation. they will transfer you to the campaign manager, Ambassador Heels. If you want information in terms of where the public meetings are going to be had, they will transfer you to the PR department and so forth. 225-7852. And that information could be sent there. Mr. Heels will indicate to you if you are in country, how you can make that donation, whether cash or check. If you're out of country as well, Mr. Heels will be able to indicate to you how you could direct those funds. Separate and apart from that, they are the candidates, presidential, prime ministerial, vice presidential candidates, and those senior candidates that you know of. You can make a donation to them. How the donation is, how you receive a receipt that your donation has been received, is that when we make the submission to Mr. Ambassador Hales, he collects a number for the person who's making the donation, and he will then send you a thank you note indicating the amount that you would have donated, and of course a personal note from the presidential candidate. And Mark, I want to stress when I say a personal note, it is not a generic note in which everybody will get the same thing. Literally, I kid you not, the presidential candidate, when he's in office, he will do personal notes to whether it's 6, 10, 15, 50 donation come in, a personal note to them, and that is what is sent to you. So it is a thank you note directly from the presidential candidate himself.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Christopher Jones. Continue the good work, and you guys will do more in terms of informing the public about these public meetings and so forth. And thank you so much, though, for your time, sir.
Most welcome. Thank you, Mark.
All right, Wayne, that was Christopher Jones, no stranger to you guys out there. One of the things as we get back, and we thank Christopher Jones indeed, the hypocrisy, Mr. Caesar, I'd like for you to briefly touch on this as we prepare to wind down with tonight's program. The hypocrisy coming out from the Commissioner of Police, Hicken, saying here that he's urging his ranks to be professional and neutral. Majority of the public, majority of Guyanese do not believe this at all. The hypocrisy is just too glaring. Your take, sir.
Yeah, look, Mark, it doesn't surprise me. Look, we see the mass promotions. We've never seen so many promotions at one time before. So we know it was a plan. It was a plot by the PPPC to promote all these people, to raise their salaries somewhat, and then to request that they vote for the PPP. Now, I mean, these officers have to look at this picture holistically and have to understand that, you know, what the PPP has done there for them it's just not sustainable, Mark. That's what people have to understand. It is not sustainable. You cannot just get promoted, accept the promotion, be happy with it, just to vote a corrupt government back into office to continue with their corruption. That cannot be your motive, okay? They have to understand, yes, take the promotion, okay? Because if you have a job, and many of them have been on the job for 20 years, 25 years. I heard somebody went on the job for 29, almost 30 years, you know? So you deserve, when you work for those type, when you do those type of years in an occupation, you're entitled to a promotion. You deserve a promotion for the most part. So it shouldn't come as the PPP is doing something for them. They're not doing anything for them. They work for those promotions. They deserve those promotions. Okay? So they need to look past that. Okay? People need to look at the issues, understand the issues, understand also the moral issues, okay, that Guyana is facing right now. Guyana is at a crossroads right now. Okay? Every day is murder. Every day is death. Okay? It's like blood in the streets across the country. It's lawlessness across the country, to go along with corruption, amongst other things. And look, we're talking about a lot of high-end officials being involved in these things. Okay? So these officers have to understand, and they have to vote correctly. They should vote correctly. All right? They have family, and this is where I say the family needs to come together. Families need to come together and talk, discuss the issues. Weigh the two parties, put the two parties, the two large parties out there. Look at their track record. Look at their track record. Look at 2015 to 2020 and look at 2020 to 2025. Look at the carnage in Guyana from 2020 to 2025. Once again, Guyana is a narco state. Okay? People are looking down on our country, an oil-producing nation. Look how people look at us. I'm ashamed to say that I'm Guyanese, now with the guy that sits there as an installed president. Look at him. He speaks at the UN, everybody goes to the bathroom. That's not what we want for the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. The fabric of Guyana has been stronger than this over the years. The PPP has weakened and destroyed the fabric of our nation. The PPPC, Mr. Benchop, their time is up. The Guyanese people has had enough. Enough is enough. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Enough is enough indeed. And to all of you guys, hope you got the message. Enough is enough. You've got to go out. You've got to vote in your numbers come September 1st. Wayne Sees, I want to thank you so much as always. And Wayne will be back before the end of the week right here on 107.1 FM. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark. Have a good night, everyone.
Yep. Wayne Caesar there for you guys. And as we wrap things up right here on 107.1 FM, let's again thank Christopher Jones and all the others. But we're not ready to go as yet. Don't start packing your bags. Don't start packing your bags. Don't throw tantrums like a Francine Cruz and so forth. Let me just say to Francine right here, and others, we noticed that the guy who's drinking soup, Selwyn, I think, Selwyn Peters and Francine Cruz went in the gutter. Francine Cruz destroyed Selwyn. And just imagine Selwyn is a lawyer and Francine Cruz, a bingo thinger. You know what I mean by that? Destroyed Selwyn Peters. Destroyed Selwyn, who's drinking soup now, according to him. Destroyed him. But let me say this to you, though, please, Miss Francine Cruz. We're not going to go in the gutter here at all on 107.1 F. If they're going to tolerate you guys, especially Selwyn Peters, who went in the gutter with you in the gutter and so forth, it's not going to happen here. But at least Francine Cruz destroyed Selwyn Peters in the gutter. All right, guys, here's something else I want to say before I go. Venezuela, what's happening there? You guys got to keep an eye. The White House doesn't rule out boots on the ground in Venezuela. Boots on the ground, how much? $50 million. If you see the so-called man out there, Maduro in Venezuela, give me a call. $50 million, guys. Give me a call. Don't call their friend Venezuela. Oh, sorry about that. Don't call them. Give me a call. Boots on the ground. Maduro is running. Hey, what else is happening as I want to talk to you before I go? I got lots I want to talk to you about, but I'll save some for tomorrow. I want to leave on, what was it? Guess who's back? Thank you so much. Leno Craig, the pastor, is back. He's next to a woman. Holy smoke. And he's out grabbing people. I don't know. Maybe they get $5,000 each person they put in a photo with. He says he's at Litchfield, West Coast, Barbies. Come on, Litchfieldians. Leno Craig gone in to do what? In your community, in your village. And then this is what he says. I met this lady, Sean Seymour Wade, who spoke with passion and conviction, the kind that leaves a lasting impression. She was fiery. And then he said, by the way, there were at least 5 people there with the last name Wade. Oh, you know what he's doing there, right? All right. Y'all don't buy that. Don't buy the man resurrect. But hear what? People at Litchfield, y'all hear me. Hear me out.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection. quick one for you. And the last time I said that, somebody came up to me and said, man, you little bias. Erection is a man thing. What happened to the women? So I got a woman thing for you. And hear me, from the moment she slime up till you get caught up, we gonna take care of you. Thank you. Thank you.
He gone out again. The man gone back again. He gone out again. I don't know. I don't know. But Patterson had the right response. He says this Leno Craig, who's supposed to be a pastor, he's not doing any damage. People are not gravitating. People are laughing him. Call him slime. Hey slime mongoose. Your name gone abroad. Slime mongoose, your name gone abroad. We gotta redo that song, right? But this is what slime mongoose Leno Craig said. Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient. The mission continues. Hip hip. That's what he said a couple days ago, because he knows exactly what happened. People are not listening to them any longer. But David Patterson responded to him. David said, you're hoping for a resurrection after you finished slime up. Oh my gosh. Elections 2025 is something else. Not something else. It's something else. All right. And so when we're done with elections 2025 in Guyana, guess what? We've got to be prepared for elections in New York City, the mayoral race. It's heating up. 3 of them. It's heating up. I want to leave you guys in this here. Good. Guess who got married today? Okay, yeah. So Brian and his now beautiful wife, Amicia, they got married today. Put a ring on the finger. He kissed her. They got married. Congratulations to both of them. Take a look at their children. Congratulations. We want to, on behalf of all of us here at 107.1 FM, and I'm certain 99% of you in the audience, we want to see the best for this family. We all want to see the best for them. You know, young people, TikTokers and so forth, but you know, these folks mean well. They still want justice for their loved one. They still want justice for Adriana Young. They want justice. In the meanwhile, they're trying to put the pieces back together and bring happiness back to the family. Congratulations to them. That's all we can say. Congratulations to them. They deserve happiness. But most importantly, they deserve justice. And only a good government with good people can ensure that they and others get the good justice, the justice they deserve. Good people can bring that about. Good people can invite FBI to Guyana. And I do mean it. Good people. Corrupt people can't invite FBI. Good people. I love you guys. Sorry about that. Had to throw that quick shade before I go. God bless you. And God bless that beautiful country called Guyana. Go out on September 1st and vote. And make Guyana breathe again. So long. Until tomorrow. God bless you. God bless all of you.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%. Get your give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base. Then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how we go Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clout. When you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratans too, cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up.
Yeah, my name is Jacinti Caldata, Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
You could probably, on the maritime area, give Venezuela a channel out to the sea.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su?
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection. A quick one for you. And the last time I said that, somebody came up to me and said, man, you little bias. Erection is a man thing, what happened to the women? So I got a woman thing for you. And hear me, from the moment she slime up till you get caught up, we gonna take care of you. Thank you, thank you.
Hey.